Hello, everybody. So, one of the things that's going on around the world today is people are attacking Teslas, and people are attacking them because Elon Musk bad. Okay, let's look at a couple of things. First off, the Teslas being attacked outside of the dealerships are not owned by Elon Musk. They're owned by individuals that a couple of years ago, um, sort of left-wing leaning folks were pushing electric cars and wanting to buy them, so a lot of them bought Teslas. So what you have is the left, politically speaking, attacking people who might very well be, people who agree with them driving those cars. Now, Elon doesn't own the car that's being attacked. He doesn't. An individual does. An individual with insurance. And that individual, you don't know if that person is Democrat, Republican, Independent. You just know he drives an Elon car, so he's bad. So interestingly, I find that whole kind of thing a little bit funny in a way, because what's happening is once you damage that car, that person has insurance. That insurance is going to cover it being repaired. Insurance companies like to see them repaired at certified repair centers, if not the dealership. Dealership owned by Tesla. Dealerships making more money means it goes back to Tesla. Now, the other funny part that's going on is people are trading these cars in droves. Like, oh, I'm going to trade it in. I'm going to trade it in. I know a couple of people who wanted Teslas for a long time. We couldn't afford them. Now they've bought them because they bought them used. They bought them really cheap. So again, the person being hurt, it's not Elon. It's the person that sold the car, took a hit to sell it and go buy another one. And that's cool. You bought a new car. Awesome. Thank you for the economic boost to the economy. But you didn't think it through. You kind of went with it and said, I'm going to do this emotional thing. Now, when you attack a dealership, again, the dealership has insurance. So what I think is funny in a way is that as this has gone on, you've now got right-wing people who are buying the cars from the dealerships, and they never would have before. So you've driven traffic over to those guys, and they're seeing increases in sales from a demographic they never saw before. Now, let's take a look at a couple of other things. Okay, so let's take a look at the stock report for Tesla itself. Now, Tesla is a publicly traded company, so we can go find a whole lot of stuff about it. All you have to do is look. I know that's asking a lot, but here it is. Let's take a look together. We'll do it live. Tesla stock. Friday had a pretty good day. It was up, a bunch. If you look at the 5-day, it's actually down a little bit on the 5-day. It's down some percentage. If you look over 1 month, it's really down. If you look over 6 months, it's up 4.3% over 6 months. Over 1 year, it's up 43%. So I guess, Elon bad. Elon's still up 43%. Now, here's the part that gets me is we're attacking this because Elon bad, right? Well, let's go look at this little thing called holders. Who actually holds that stock besides individuals? So we're going to look at institutional holders and we're going to look at mutual fund holders. These are the institutional holders that hold a reasonable number of shares, 200 plus million shares. Now let's go find out together. We'll even ask Grok just for the sake of it, right? Because Grok is going to side with Elon, right? How many shares of Tesla does Elon Musk own? Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Represents he has 411 million shares or 12.8% of the company. That's cool. Here's a bunch of people who have half as many shares, but these are institutional holders. These guys manage things like pension funds, IRAs, 401ks. In other words, the retirement funds of individuals. You might be one of those if your company has a retirement fund, if your company has a pension fund, if your company has a 401k, if you're in a mutual fund. Now let's look at top mutual fund holders. Oh, look at that. A bunch of them, they have, a 5% on up to sort of half of what, or maybe, less than 10% of what Elon has, but maybe, 10, maybe 20%. Those are mutual funds. Those are funds that a whole lot of people have a whole lot of money in. So you're not just hurting Elon, you're hurting a whole crap load of people when you do this kind of stuff. All these institutional holders, all these mutual funds. If you are in a retirement fund, odds are you may own some Tesla stock someplace. Now, who else might get hurt in the process of destroying Tesla? So we've established that, yeah, okay, you're going to hurt Elon, sure. Um, if you divide his net worth by a factor of 100, he's still worth $4.5 billion, and you're not going to go that far because his Tesla stock is not the vast majority of his holdings. It's a big number, but it's not the vast majority of his holdings. So let's see. He's got 715 million shares, or 20% of the company. So what is that? That's 715 million shares. Let's pull out a spreadsheet and do the math, shall we? I always like doing the math. I hate being a scientist. You look at things logically and reasonably. It just is what it is. 715 million shares, millions and millions of shares. 715. What is the stock selling for? Let's go take a quick look. Stock is selling for $248 a share. Okay, now multiply that by 248. So that makes Elon's part of Tesla worth $177 billion, or somewhere between a third and a half of his net worth. Awesome. Chop him in half. Still worth $200 billion. You think he cares? He still owns SpaceX, Starlink, X. He still owns an AI company that's worth a pretty fair amount of money, and Tesla's not going to zero. Okay, it's just not. Oh, the Boring company, I forgot about that one. He's got a lot of stuff out there that he owns. He's not going to go away. You drive this to zero, the only people you hurt are the other shareholders, and you hurt them far worse than you hurt Elon, because he's going to be back. Now, let's look at something else. How many U.S. citizens does Tesla employ? Let's see the other people that are getting hurt as you attack Teslas. They employ 70,000 U.S. citizens, derived from various sources, X, total workforce. And so they employ people all over the world. So, as you attack Teslas just because Elon bad, you're not hurting Elon. Oh, he might get annoyed because it's his company, but financially, you're not hurting him. You're just not. I mean, what can he do? Let's say he loses the investment completely and Tesla goes to zero, which is a silly thing to consider. He's still worth more than $200 billion. What can't he do with $200 billion that he can do today? Not much. So when you see these people, or you see people out there attacking Teslas because, Elon Nazi, all they're doing is hurting other people. They're not hurting the guy they think they're hurting. And in the process, they're liable to. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Somehow I got knocked off. But as this happens, he's putting other people out of jobs. You're not putting Elon out of anything. You're probably only strengthening his resolve as somebody who's going to sit up there and keep doing this stuff. But as you see, you're just hurting U.S. employees. You're hurting insurance companies. You're hurting people who may have voted Democrat at some point. You're not hurting him. It's a silly thing to consider that you think that anybody thinks all these attacks are actually going to cause any kind of pain to Elon Musk personally. They're not. It is just a silly, silly notion. So yeah, okay, you might ding his net worth by 20%. He's not going to care. You might ding his pride in the company. He's not going to care. He's going to go on with his day and be like, all right, stupid people. And yeah, anyway, so attack the cars, go ahead, but there's going to be repercussions. Violence never solves anything. Even Martin Luther King was like, nope, yeah, don't do it. Okay, he was assassinated, but but still, it's this kind of action is only going to have repercussions for the people doing it, the people advocating it. Looking at you, John Cusack, as a guy who loves your movies. Dude, seriously, what the hell are you thinking out there telling people to rise up and shut down Tesla? You're just hurting an American company, man. What the hell is wrong with you? Um, you know, and the other part of it that I find hilarious is that we're protesting the fascist. Whether or not you agree with his politics, I don't believe Elon Musk is a fascist. He's a technologist. Um, and Tesla bad, but Volkswagen, nobody's saying anything about. And that one was legitimately started by freaking Hitler. So, you know, I think people have just gone around the bend on this one. People have a lot of anger built up from stuff that's happened over the years, uh, and they want to take it out on something. And this is just an easy target. It's also a stupid target, but it's an easy target. Um, Stop damaging people's property. Stop damaging the cars. No, I don't drive a Tesla, so I'm not trying to save my own tushy here. I have no skin in this game. I really don't care. But I think everybody who does this kind of stuff is acting like a toddler and just needs to stop it. And no, there is nothing that I have seen that it convinces me at all that this is an inside job being done as an insurance scam. I saw that one floating around someplace. So grow up, stop hurting Tesla. The only people you're hurting are the employees and the other shareholders. I guarantee you, Elon is going to be just fine. He's not going to go anywhere on the world stage. It's not going to happen. Everybody have a great weekend.